पैरा कमांडो एंड देन स्पेशल फोर्सेस बनाने के लिए. सो वी विल टेल यू एग्जैक्टली ऑफिसर कैसे बनते हैं और पैरा कमांडो एंड देन स्पेशल फोर्सेस कैसे बनते हैं.
That's the time the operations took place. But before that, every year we got something known as a commando training. Few terms of references were there that the Sri Lankan Army, Navy and the Air Force were all put into the barracks. That is the thing.
Sir, what were you when Major Sudhir Walia?
I knew you would ask me. Sudhir Walia, more than Sudhir Walia, before Sudhir Walia, there's another fellow called, don't forget, Arun Jasrotia. Just see Sudhir, Nali, Jha, these are all names, they are all troopies with me. We have never done underslung. He used to bring Pakistani people coming underslung, but then we could catch them. Even getting Osama bin Laden was also fortunate. Everything was happened. So in my t-shirt and my half pant, I went to the op area. Pistol inside that same place I told you.
Yeah.
Right? So I was saying, okay, Sukhdev, to as a career, to Sukhdev is someone who died with me. Sukhdev, to as a career, to usko Burman ko leke tu chale ja wahan par do. I met this fellow also, Ajit Doval. We spoke more about Gadwalis because my dad was from Gadwals. That body had not been extracted. I didn't have to tell anybody, but I said we are not going to release from that place without taking out the body from there. We don't know whether he's dead or alive. I spoke to him, Tosif. I spoke to Tosif. I said, look, I want the body. Rest whatever you want.
Thank you so much, sir, for coming to the podcast show. I've been chasing you from a very long time, I think.
Okay.
What do you think? But it's an honor to have you here, sir. It's an honor to have you here, sir. Guys, lot of people keep talking about special forces, ye, wo, Maroon, 9 para, 10 para, SF, everything. So today I have with me on set Brigadier Sanjay Thapa, Sena Medal, Gallantry. We have a para commando on the set today. And today we will not only tell you what does it take to become an officer from a civilian, but we'll also tell you what does it take to become a special forces officer. Welcome to the set, sir.
Thank you.
Roger that with NKC. Like I say, officer like qualities ki kahani, ex-GTO ki zubani. Welcome to the set, sir.
I'm happy.
So, sir, this podcast, this set is a little different from any other podcast or military podcast that you must have come across or people must have come across. Here we talk about the process. We say situation ये है, task ये है, action ये है, उसके बाद result ऐसे आएगा. So we talk about the process. We would want you to tell the viewers about all the processes that you have gone through to achieve the organizational goal in your career as an army officer.
Phew, that you have to give it to me in writing. There's such a lot of questions. And if I don't get the right answer?
I'm sure, sir, you will still give the right answer. The plethora of experience that you carry. So, sir, why don't you start by introducing yourself, the course number, NDA, and when did you get commissioned to the audience?
So that's easy. That's easy. Okay. NDA is where you want me to start.
Yeah, we start from NDA, sir.
Okay. Yeah. I started off in NDA with a few firsts do come in. For example, I am from the 58th course of the NDA, 58, in case 50 has not been captured. 58th course was the first course which got into NDA, where the first numbers were confined to an area called Ghorpuri. You never heard of it?
No.
All right, okay. The old timers or someone will know. So that's where we all were pinned in, let's put it that way, because we were just new people over there. And there was two squadrons called Mike and November. And that's where we started off from before we came into the Khadakwasla campus in our second term. My NDA number was 12867. Hardly makes any difference. I'll tell you why I said so. Because later on in life, much later, I got married in 1990. NDA was 77. When I got married, I found my father-in-law's number, IC number, was 12867 also.
Okay.
He is no more. He was a casualty, battle casualty in the 65 war. But that's the other part. That's why I brought this in.
Which squadron in India, sir?
How about Alpha Squadron? Yeah, that's it. Alpha is good enough. A lot of people come with various names for it, Apaches or whatever it is. But that's okay. Alpha was good. The first squadron that was there, and we continued over there only. After that, came into the. I was a naval cadet when I joined the NDA. In my third term, they called me for a medical review, and I don't know what happened. But I was just happy that, yes, I could be shown as proceeding MH and I could skip those classes for that day. But they did some tests over there, and then nobody said anything. Fourth term passed away, and fifth term came in. Again, they called me for a medical. When they called me for a medical this time, I said something didn't look very correct. And when I came, they said, I'm sorry, you can't join the Navy because you are colorblind. I could see this is red, this is green. So I said, you can choose the Air Force or the Army. So I said, all right, let it be the Army. But after coming back, and that's how we got into the Army. And after that, when I came into the Army, much later, I went and did a course with the naval people, which actually everybody had to do that medical test again. And there I found myself, I cleared it. Which the naval people who were already there didn't quite really make through. So the system at times can go a little,
So when did you get commissioned, sir, in the service?
So thank God you brought me back, and you must keep bringing me back. June 81 we got commissioned, and there was no commissioning directly to the PARA Commandos. My inspiration at that time were two fellows. Because they were from 1 para and 9 para in IMA. And of the two, I only gunned for one person, not because of what he was wearing or, yes, I think the Maroon Beret definitely did bring me in. But more than that, he's presently, we are in touch. He was dark, and I mean dark, black, shiny, all right? And he used to smoke like anything, and he used to smoke charms cigarettes. Those days, like jeans, So we were really fascinated, because at those days, if I had a Wrangler, it was quite achievement. Wow, this fellow has got a Wrangler. It was not available, and the packet had a jeans kind of a cover on it. But he used to smoke and talk about abuses. He could really abuse. Really good in whichever language.
So Ferret is a passion in the armed forces.
And his name is Brigadier Verma. He's there right now also in Sikandrabad. And I said, if I want to be a man, this is the kind of a chap I want to be. And that's what drove me into 9. But there was no direct commissioning into 9 and 10. The PARA Commandos then. So the MS branch came and they gave me a unit called 6 Maratha Light Infantry. Terrific unit, and I am still in touch. We've always been in touch. I only know that my CO at that time, then Lieutenant Colonel Shikatkar, he said, you're going, don't come back. You make sure you clear the probation. So mixed feelings. So then I left 6 Marathas, came to this place, and 6 Maratha was in real heavy LC environment. Lakpat, Lalyali, these are all places which are really all fire right now also. It has always been in fire.
You get a chance to get into some kind of an ops or some kind of an exposure while
unfortunately it didn't happen. The only ops that happened was we used to see mango trees down below and the Pakistanis used to come and we used to don't do anything. The Pakistanis used to pick up those mangoes and throw it at us because very close over there. It's just 30-40 yards in front. They used to show us a lot of glossies which were not available in India, which they could get access, and they used to show those glossies and we could just do anything. But I remember my time, my accommodation was inside an MMG bunker. An MMG bunker has got 3 fingers. So it was okay for me. One corner was for keeping all my books and all these small things because we didn't have any computers. Books were the only things that we could read. The other was clothes, etc. And my bed was there. Scorpions used to be on top, used to fall, and I just do like this. That's it. And then continue. Pretty harmless, actually. Really.
So how much time did you spend with 6 Maratha?
About a year.
And after that, you went for probation.
I went to when I was doing VIOs, I got my call that you will now go to. So went off.
Where
to
was this?
Udhampur in 9 Para. Okay, when I went to 9 Para, it was obviously, I came on a Saturday and the next day was a Sunday. And Monday was what the program or whatever. There's no program, nothing given. So you got to report. So when I reported, people who stood in front of me, I'll tell you, Avdesh, 6 foot. Anil Nair, 6 foot. Ashok Sengar, 6 foot. Sambi, he's not 6 foot, thankfully, but he is totally a gym man, right? Sinewing muscles, etc. And in front of them, I come out meekly as a 5 foot 4 inch. You can imagine where have I come. But I said, I will do the entire period of probation. Doesn't matter. I didn't know how much is the probation. They just said, you're attached over there till they say you're okay. And then I thought it will be Monday when, you know, everything is going to start. He said, no, okay, have you got a bed sheet? No, I don't have a bed sheet. I didn't have a white bed sheet. So he said, what do you do? What's your name? Okay, they caught my name and then they said, okay, you see that hill in front? Doesn't matter, you don't know. I said, that hill in front, that's, as the crow flies, it is about 5 kilometers. Dhansal Ridge over there. And then he said, now you go over there. You put this sheet over there and then you lie down on it in Jesus position. And once I see you on the Jesus position, I will fire a flare from a mini flare. A mini flare is different from a normal flare which the Navy people use. Special Ops uses, and you just put it like a pen only. You can hold it here. Put a flare over there, and once you see the flare, you can come back. So I was very good. I went, reached that point, whichever point it was. I said, no issues. See, I know where I have to go. It's a Sunday. So I put myself in the Jesus position, and I really enjoyed it also because I could do with some rest. And I kept looking. I could see the building over there, not so clearly. And he was supposed to look through a binocular, see over there, and then fire that, that flare. The flare didn't fly. At about 4:30, I said, now nothing has come, so I should get back. So when I got back, he says, Georgie sir, his name is Ranjit Singh, but we all call him Georgie. So Georgie sir, he says, oh, I forgot here, I'm so sorry. So that's how it started off. And the next day onwards, it kept on till the time it finished off. That's what I can recall. It's good time that we had. How long
does it take, sir, to finish?
It took 3 months full.
Okay.
And my probation was one Captain Singer then. Captain Singers were with, captains meant 13 years service. Because you became major only after 13 years. But he's one of those, I told you, those thin, lanky, sinewy, muscled 6-footer who I met. One of the first person. Very good-hearted. He still is very good-hearted. But I thought he'll be lenient towards one of these, speed marches or these exercises. No holds barred. As far as the job is concerned, you will do what you're supposed to do. Yes, we are good friends, fine. I'll make sure I'll give you a good glass of water, hot beverage. What you want, you will get it. But you do what you're supposed to do first.
So did you feel any time that you want to quit probation?
Absolutely.
How many times did it occur?
Can't count.
You can't count?
Can't count.
So what kept you going?
Why are you asking me this question? I'll tell you, nothing, there's no motivation. It's just, I'll tell you, we were running. See, there are men also who do probation with you.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, men, you're doing everything. So, when you're doing it, for example, those days, the BPT was 2 mile. And there was also something known as a 10-mile run, which the old-timers would know if you speak to these old-timers. And you must check all what I'm saying. I'm like, is he just talking through his cuff or whatever it is? So in that 10-mile run that we were doing, very interestingly, one person was, when you do these long runs, I like to run myself on my own. But someone came alongside me, Mahavir came, and then he kept running along with me. We are both same height, so our steps matched. It helps, And as we kept running, he said, "Sir, I'm feeling a little tired. Let's go a little slow." So I told him, no, Mahavir, aise nahi, chalo, tu kar sakta hai. So then he pulled on along with me. We kept running, another 2 miles gone. 2 miles, 16 kilometers, let me be 10 miles, 16 kilometers. So 2 miles we did, 3.2 kilometers, and then after that I felt a little stretch. I said, Mami, tu chal yaar, koi baat nahi, because I want him to do well. That is no doubt in that. Tu chal yaar, main aa jaunga. Second was, yes, let him go here, at least it'll be a little less strain for me. He said, hey, sab, apne aana hai mere ko. Come on, let's go. And then after that, when he said you have to go, then I also put along. I thought I'd put it off. So it is off only. So when we did it, then after that we reached the city. We've already done about 8-10 kilometers. So now we doesn't matter now. That pace has come in, your strength has come in. So when you say, did I feel like chucking? That was, I said, that's it, I'm not going any further than this. I'm really straining myself from using words that I want to use, okay?
No, but I want you to be completely open.
No, that's fine. Yeah. We're an officer and a gentleman also.
Yeah.
So that was the part when I said, no, I'm not going to, I'm going to quit. Something comes in and then you continue. Things like much later, like we went down, we are not divers at that time, but you're put into the water. I remember these times. And you are into the water, not with your, Adidas, it didn't exist those days, with your swimming trunk or something like that. You're just into water with the dungarees, etc. So the initial part is, the mud, everything gets cleared off. Your jungle boots are still on. And then you go inside and you're not a diver down below. And there's a nut and bolt, which I did later on using breathing apparatus, to work underneath, underwater. He said, yeah, this nut and bolt has got to come up. And the problem is the nut and bolt came up. Then you said, no, the nut has to be inside the bolt and then come in. Now you need 2 people. I said, I'm not going to do this. I'm not much of a swimmer, yes, but I am a Highlander. I am from the Northeast. So people don't, but because my dad was in the services also, one has been going for it. And I think good training in NDA was one. Let me go back a little bit.
Yes.
NDA end of term, you always have that PT display on the POP, that series of things which happen.
Yes.
From what I remember there, during that period, there was only one, and there's always a PT display, but there was only one occasion that I know, at least for about 5 to 6 years, when there was, instead of PT display, they said there will be an aquatic display.
Oh.
Did you ever hear of it?
No.
Do ask people around my area.
Yeah.
I'm 58, 60s or so. And in that aquatic display, it was all in the swimming pool. Not synchronized swimming, etc., but a lot of diving, kind of swimming, doing things in the swimming pool, in the NDA swimming pool. There's a person who's senior to me called Gil. And he, from the 10-meter board, you know the 10-meter board?
Yeah, I know, sir.
Now, everybody, that's the final part, everybody jumps in, not jumps in, you dive inside. So it looks good, from all the boards, 3 meter, 1 meter, 7 meter, 10 meter, and some from the side also. To increase the degree of difficulty, there was one person, Gil was a 6-footer, huge chap from Delta Squadron, 57th course. So I was on his back. They said, no, he must be on his back at 10 meters. I'm not a free faller. I'm not a jumper just yet. And he holds you back with his 2 hands behind. I climb up. This, because of my size, he's got me over there. And I'm standing over there on top of him behind his back. And he's holding me. And then after, on the word go, all of us jump. Can you imagine how I went down? We did practices. 4 practices I did. The easiest time was the first time when I did it. After that fourth, yes, I was scared, but then I don't have a choice. A lot of people watching, a lot of claps going on. I better do it. I don't know how it's going to end up. So that's how we did it. That's the swimming part from the in the NDA, which had got me into it. Was I a good swimmer, strong swimmer? I never did lake swimming, but it got me the confidence. So when I was doing probation, now I'm in real deep water. That's the time when I said, look, if I could do that, you should be able to do this. So the quit part, which came again over there, it just went off from there. Because the chap who was doing along with me was a fellow called Vijay Singh Shikawat. He said, Sanjay, तू वो कर सकता था, साले अभी नहीं ये नहीं कर सकता है. And he just said it. I think if you ask him right now, he will say, हाँ बोल दिया था, but I didn't say it with the idea of motivating you, least of all motivating you. I just said it because I thought that's the closest to abusing you, or whatever it is. Umpteen cases of giving up at the last minute, then finished off. Then it keeps going on.
So sir, after that, Marooning happened 90 days ke baad.
Okay.
And then?
Yeah, a few things which you must, because your target audience, if I'm not mistaken, are those people who are aspiring to join the services.
Yeah, I'll come to that part, sir. I mean, but
okay,
now
that
you've just spoken about it, I still want them to know, sir. Brigadier Sanjay Thapa is also an ex-interviewing officer who served at Selection Center South Bangalore. So, मेरे closest circle, मेरे radar में I know probably only one officer who knows civilian में क्या देखना है उसको officer बनाने के लिए, और एक officer में क्या देखना है उसको PARA Commando and then Special Forces बनाने के लिए. So I probably know only one officer, and that's why it's an honor for us, the entire team of Roger that with NKC, to have him on the set today. So we will tell you exactly officer कैसे बनते हैं और para commando and then special forces कैसे बनते हैं. We'll tell exactly. So sir, coming back to the marooning part.
Yeah. So then after that, yes, we got a maroon berets. That's it.
Bas.
No wings.
Nothing.
Okay. No balidan. No those
special forces.
We had commandos over there.
Yeah.
Now for that, I don't know how many know. At least my unit is very clear about it. You wear your maroons, fine. Your maroon beret, and we had amongst ourselves this one. Amongst the parachute regiment people, next time you meet someone wearing a maroon beret, just ask him, hey, the maroon beret that you're wearing, is that a Kongol? You've heard the word Kongol?
No. What is this?
It's spelled Kongol. Well, this organization of yours should be knowing about it. Do what I'm saying. Ask him, maroon beret, is that a Kongol? Firstly, he will look twice at you before he replies. And chances are now, as the years go off, it'll not be a Kongol. The old timers are the people who had Kongols. They are maroon berets. They are, I can't explain it to you. I'll leave it as an own time work for you. Find it out from the old people. What is a Kongol beret? What's so fascinating about Kongol beret? I want to tell you that then one Captain Bhagat was there, ML Bhagat. He gave me a Kongol beret. He says, Le Sanjay, it was an old one, but I have come to know, people tell you, the older it is, the better it is. Christ said. Thank you. So what I'm saying is, that beret was given to me. I'm telling you things which happened, and then somebody else came. He says, yeah, don't wear this badge, which was there in the canteen, which whatever it was, 35 rupees. You're an officer. Now you please get yourself a silver badge. And then I think Captain Roshan Lal, he said, Sanjay, ye le le. He's from Himachal. He's more into Hindi. And he said, ye Premjit ne diya tha, tera shakal bilkul Premjit ki tarah hai. Tu rakh le isko. Premjit Rongpa is a great mountaineer. He died in the mountains, climbing, attempting. And he died, the Himachali. And they say, I've seen his photographs, they say my face and his face resembles quite a lot, including the height, build, etc. Never met him. So that is now my dining in. let me tell you what happens in a para. Everything happens, in life. If you don't have fun, it's not much use.
Yeah.
So in your dining out, what everybody says, you're dining out or dining in. I must drink a lot, make him drunk or whatever it is. Kind of a dictum which flows on. So you come in, this is the better part. Everybody is there, so all the ladies are also there. The part that I want to tell you is, you want to hear, yes, that's the first time that I ate glass. Okay. This fellow called Tasker, he was here lately. He's the person who said, these are all appointed. It doesn't happen, just anybody do it. The CEO, he may not be close to me, but he has already said, he says, Taski, make sure that, nothing untoward happens. Said, oh, yes, sir, nothing else, obviously. And he's also not betting on anything that unknown. He says, eat, yeah. I presume that nothing will happen, but if it happens, we'll see it when it happens, right? Attitude, right?
Yeah.
So, went to that. What you eat is, you eat fine glass, you see. Don't pick up a Yara ka glass or something like that, because the first glass that came to me was a Yara glass. I had also heard you got to eat. So, when it came to me, I said, let me just bite it. That was terrible. And more than my mouth, you know what? My thumb got cut very badly.
Okay.
So, that piece came out over there and that went off over there. Then I picked up a glass. It's a brandy glass that was there. Nice. And then you start munching it and... I said munching, isn't it? You munch it. Don't swallow it. And keep biting it. And it's just like eating, subsequently reach a stage when you're just biting into mud. And then you are swallowing it. And goes inside and probably next day it came out, or in whichever time frame it came out.
Okay.
That's not the interesting part.
Yeah. What's the interesting part?
The interesting part is you got to, before everything, when people are going in for dinner, there's a little bit of dining out, dining in speech, which is there. I was not dined in alone. There was a dining out also, which is happening, which was given more priority. But then, then there is a Gwalior Cup in 9 para. I don't know in other units.
Yes.
Now that is a big Gwalior Cup. You will do all the checking back. You go around, and the Balbir Singh is the waiter. He goes around and you're drinking whiskey, so you put a little bit of whiskey over there. And somebody having beer, put it over there. But Mrs. KI is having coffee because it's cold. So what she'll do, put a little bit of a coffee in there. Okay. And then friend Donny Verma, is that Kalu Verma, AK Verma. Okay. That time he was a major. Still a bachelor with 16 years. He was the senior most bachelor. So he was smoking a cigarette. So he just tapped his cigarette ash over there. Thank God he didn't put the butt in. This is later on, he said, Sanjay, I just put my ash. I was decent. I didn't put my butt in. So he put everything. Somebody's having a soft drink. He put that soft drink in. And to make it kind of acceptable, because things are just a little bit younger. So then Master Balbir puts in a beer bottle, bottle of beer. Now it's good, nice liquid. You give it a good shake and then you drink it up.
Yeah.
So, Biru Yadav.
Oh my God.
So what? Why are you putting it sitting back?
Yeah.
Then you drink it.
Yeah.
So, what's happened? Nothing has happened.
Yeah.
Isn't it? But you get a feeling, look, I did this. It makes it stronger for you when the next person comes in. I'll make sure that I know exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to put my socks into water and I'll do this, which I could never do anyway. I never got that chance subsequently. That's the dining in part.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. My uniform, which the audience, I don't know who's wearing, they would be, it's just the maroon beret that I've got in the morning. That's how I've reached the mess inside. That's how I've reached the mess without a weapon. Otherwise, the weapon is with you throughout till the time you finish the probation. Whether you're going for it, and a number of times it disappears also.
Okay, sir. So, sir, marooning ho gaya, abhi glass chewing ka bhi samajh gaya, and then the cup also is there.
No. Wait, I've still not got inducted as a para commando as yet.
Okay.
So I said, I've got my beret, all right, and then after that, then you go for your jumps. I did your 5 jumps, Agra, that was happiness. There's no problem. 16 days, it got extended because we are all ready for a jump, and then the aircraft suddenly, something, some failure has happened, technical failure, and then no jump. So imagine you won that parachute on huge parachute, static line. I'm dead scared. I dread parachutes, static line. Given a chance, I'd like to do free fall only or a skydiving, whatever you guys. So having said that, then you did your jumps and then you get your para badge, which happens in Agra only. The unit does not come into it. Unit comes in because now you got to earn your Balidan. Balidan is, for those who don't know, is the badge that you wear of the flaming, what do you call it, bayonet or the dagger that we call it, right? Now that, along with your commando flashes, right, they come in only if you've done an exercise with the para commandos then, or you've done operations. So what we had to do, 84, 85, if you recall, that's when the Siachen got opened up, right? That's the time when we all went in over there. And that's the time the operations took place. But before that, every year we got something known as a commando training. So we went for that commando training, and after that commando training that you've done, which is actually good fun after the probation that you've done, it's cakewalk. But after you do that, this is where the CO comes in, where exercises are made much more tough. But this is where you're not alone. You've got your troops along with you, and I really enjoyed those exercises.
So you're leading the team.
Yeah, you've got the team. You've actually said it very correctly. You're leading a team because the team is equivalent to a platoon then.
Yeah.
Equivalent to what a team is today is equivalent to a company. That time used to be known as groups. It doesn't exist anymore. So there are teams over there. So we were actually with troops as team commanders and did your exercise. Group commander was the person who was the company commander, and he's overlooking whatever you're doing.
So how many people?
Then after that, in a team would be 137. See, now we mustn't get mixed up. The team of my time that I'm talking about, later on we converted also. So I got into teams also. Like when I became a major, that time I was a team commander because for a company. And what we had down below was a troop, you see. So those days troops didn't come, squads were there. After squads was team. The team had approximately about say 32, 34 people. Depending upon, did you have an MMG also along with you, Det with you? If you didn't have an MMG, but if you have an RL with you, those are additional weapons, etc., which come into it. Para commanders don't have those big things, big guns like the 81 millimeter, those long firing guns. MMG is the toughest that you did. That's why you'll find a lot of people from the para commandos have not done a course called the BSW, the Battalion Support Weapons. There's the MMG, the RLs, RCL, jeep mounted, those things are not there, or the mortars which are there. So that's the team that you're organizing. That rest are, you've got 4 squads, used to be 5 people each, and it's gone up to now 6 people. So you've got 24 people over there, and then the rest are those additional people who are their headquarters. So it goes up to 32, 36, could go up to 36, 37. You make it as per the task. Or even 18 people have also gone.
So what happened in the Siachen?
Okay. Glacier was, see, everybody says glacier, Siachen. You also said it. The battle there has got a sausage as far as that glacier, dirty, stupid glacier which is there. It's called the Siachen Glacier. The battle is on something known as that's called the ridge which is there, the Siala Ridge. Okay, that is where the battle is. And that's where, all these Bilafondla, these are the passes which are being guarded by us. And that is very easy access for the Pakistanis to come in. And you just go and hold it. People know Siachen, or they know the ridge, but they don't know about an area called Turtuk. It's called Subsector West. That's even more tough an area. Lower part. I don't want to get much into geography or maps as such really, but that's where we started off. We had 3 casualties over there. Casualties fatal, enemy fire. And well, we didn't retrieve the bodies. The bodies were picked up by the Pakistanis and then handed over in Kargil much later on. That's a separate incident. Major Verma was the person, that same person keeps coming in. He was the person told you go and retrieve the bodies. That I don't want to talk about. But those 3 people died. And we kept on with Siachen, and that's the time when we said, yes, we got to get serious about it. Because on the other side was a fellow called the SSG was operating, and the commander was a person called Parvez Musharraf as a brigadier in the Pakistan Army. He was, again, like I say, if I ever meet the general, Parvez Musharraf, I will give him my smartest salute. Because as professionals, I think if I was there, I would also do what he did. He did everything, underslung people. We have never done underslung. He used to bring Pakistani people coming underslung, you know, but then we could catch them. We could have them. And thereafter, it was not a special ops. It was not commando task. It became a normal, conventional infantry. You know, go and occupy and fight a battle over there. Come, let's see. Because that area is, you know, LC also disappears. You know, line of control literally is whoever's controlling that area. We couldn't have gone further up. We can't come down further. So we are holding on to the ridge. If you can dislodge us, dislodge us. And that is continued today also. But today the glacier is, my God, it's picnic. I hope the politicians are not listening. But you got terrific equipment there. Unfortunately, everything is foreign, you know, all from Switzerland or from Sweden. And Indians can't produce it. This organization should be able to produce it. But you got, you know, sleeping bags which should be able to take in 22,000, 23,000 feet to be able to just get inside the sleeping bag and survive. Pop tents are not good enough. But again, good times. It's good because a lot of cashews were there, a lot of Maggies, when not many people had Maggies those days. But you don't feel like eating anything. That's the time when you really, you know,
so was this the first ops after Marooning?
That's correct.
This was the first
Absolutely
ops.
first.
After that, commando laga?
After that, no, we had done the exercise. You see the exercise, the commando training. So the Balidan and commando was there. But when we go into ops, we don't wear anything. You just go in like that only. You can make out who's there. And that's the time, yes, growing a beard was, you know, long hair, beard was very good. But the thing was, my beard comes just here and it used to come on my cheeks. And my mustache, only this part came. So it didn't look so, you know, macho,
swanky,
whatever it is. Others really think. In fact, when I got married in 90, I could, you know, have a good ponytail over there, which I put behind into my shirt. That's okay. These are things. So that is now inducted. Then our feet never touched the ground. 87, 88, we got inside. Let me go through it. This is 84, 85. We had this. We almost got into war because there was something known as Op Trident. If you know, whenever any training happens, then it's known as an exercise. But when you call it op, means actual bullets are flying. So this is called an Op Trident. Google Op Trident. Not many people know about it. Everybody knows Op Parakram, Op, what you call Blue Star, Op Vijay, everything. Not many people know about Op Pawan. Op Trident, right? Trident, We almost got into it. We had a general called General Handu, a great person who didn't listen to the chief. And I wish we had gone across. But if we had gone across, then I don't think I would have been sitting in front of you, because the task that was given to my team was, yes, you will go to a place called Kapalu. There's a bridge in Kapalu, and you will hold on to that bridge. We need that because a larger formation has to come to get into a place called Skardu, which even exists today. And that Skardu is where the para formation will, get inside and take it. I can afford to tell you all this. It was high time, big secret those days. And we would have all got massacred because we were all based upon one green book. Those who served in Army Headquarters, MO, will know about it. And some tourist books which people had written. So that's how that Op Trident fortunately didn't take place. Otherwise, it was we weren't very clear about it. I think someone higher up. We were just captains only, so we don't know. But I think better sense prevailed, and it was called off.
And after this, the next thing was
87, 88. That's
IPKF.
right. Yeah, we went inside.
What is IPKF, sir? Can you please tell the audience?
IPKF. The audience, just IPKF, Google it, you'll find it. But it's called the Indian Peacekeeping Force.
Yeah.
Like any, we went into Sri Lanka, and Sri Lanka, we were the few terms of references were there that the Sri Lankan Army, Navy, and the Air Force were all put into the barracks. That is the thing, and we'll take on the ops fully. So we took on that ops fully. And it was really an eye-opener because initial period, the Indian peacekeeping force really had terrible casualties. Because we had not experienced any war. That's the problem which China is going to have. They don't have any experience of fighting. I'm telling you, as of now, till today. You see, secrets are those which is within my area. Those of the enemy is not secret. So that's okay. They are going to find, they are not trained. So we can keep talking about it. So we went in, a lot of casualties, the armored corps, tanks being blown up, mechanized, terrible. But we as special forces, when we went in, and it was 10 paras battle, because the Southern Command, and 10 para, they got blooded in. The modern 10 para got blooded in in a very difficult way. You know, you can always do any aspect in the hard way and the easy way. They learned it the hard way. But what you learn the hard way, really gets embodied. Now, 10 para, let me tell you, are those. So Mahan Singh, Maharaj, then what's his name, Bhavani Singh. He's commanded 10. He is the one who has gone into, all those Chacharo, those in 71 Ops, etc. They have that, but that legend was of 71. We're talking about 88, 89. So we suffered, 10 also suffered a lot, but we picked up from them. So we went in over there, just one team went in initially. One group went in.
137, 38 people.
Yeah, that's right. It was much more because we had a lot of other, administrative people also.
That's how you were a group commander?
No, we were team commanders then.
Okay.
Team commanders are troop commanders. We had, it was still teams and groups at that time. After that, the transformation took place when one para became commandos also. Okay. That's the time in 84. Sorry, when so we were still group commanders and team commanders. We were team commanders there. And it was good dodging the bullets because the concept of bulletproof vests and all came in at that time. So there was, everybody was thinking, is it good to wear a heavy bulletproof which will, stop the bullets? But let me tell you, a bulletproof jacket can just stop the bullets. You'll survive, but it throws you off real bad. A bulletproof jacket over here, a whole shot, comes in over here, but there are no bulletproofs over here. So then the shots come in here also. So these things I've survived, but the actual shots which came here kept me alive. And that's why I'm here. And later on, there was a thought process that it's better to be light and dodge the bullets than to be heavy and not be able to dodge the bullet but take the bullet and still survive. So that's how it was. There are too many flaws in the bullets. Unless you have a full body, like Kevlar or something like that, which covers full. You don't want something to come from the side, etc. More of a psychic. Yes, I'm wearing a bulletproof vest. That's the main thing.
Sir, how do you convince the troops ki operation mein ja rahe hai, ye kar rahe, wo kar rahe, as a team commander?
How do I convince the troops? The troops have got to be, I'm talking about the troops that I know. And largely I can talk about at least 9, 10 and 1. Very clear. And 21 to quite an extent also. The troops are more keen to get into, you got to hold those horses back. Sir, chalte hain sir. Let's go sir. उसने बताया इधर है ना, वहाँ पर ऐसा सब लेट मत करो sir, अभी चलते हैं. And you want to hold your horses and to motivate them, like you said, that thing never came. That, you know, these fellows are going to feel bad and we know we are going to do this and we might not come back. Never, never. And what they're looking at is, I've got a troopy over here and he is going to hold my hand. I know it, he will do it. It's a fact which, let me tell the audience, you know, you become a young officer. You become a young officer, you become a lieutenant nowadays, lucky because we were just second lieutenants. You become a lieutenant and you go and join a company, right? I'm talking about the fighting part, the armored corps, the infantry. Now you've got a band of troops over there. You just got 6 months of service that you've got. And you with, say, 30 people, all right? And you got into a situation where, you know, there is, everything is fallen down. There's fire coming from here, fire coming from here. And you're sitting over there, I don't know what to do. But you've got some JCOs over there, much older than you, more service than you. You've got 3 stripers with you, you know, they've got much more. How do you think they would be expecting you? I have realized much later on, because you're an officer over there, they just know, yaar, हमारे पास एक officer है ना, बस वो निकालने का कोई तरीका. That's the trust and faith that they have. It's not in the Indian Army. It's in that unit, Paltan. वो Paltan का लंगर का दाल जिसने पिया है ना, that is our family. So the thing is, you know, they say, okay, they are just waiting for instruction. You just tell them.
Officer बाहर निकालने का is effective intelligence. वो तो आप दिमाग में लगा रहे हो.
See, there you said it. Effective intelligence. Now comes in the other 2 factors. Now go back to your factoring days.
Factor 1.
No. What is the second one? Reasoning. After that is what? Organizing. Right? You recall? You hit the nail on the head. See, Nikhil, अभी जो मैं बता रहा हूँ ना, I didn't want to tell you this, but you've only taken these words out from me. Now what happens is, as an officer, you will reason out. If I bow down now, what will these fellows think? Damn chap is a yellow. So that thing comes into you, which no, I cannot be yellow. I am not yellow. Whether you are actually or not, the first thing. The thing is, then you will start reasoning. I must say something. So I'll say, okay, Sukhdev, to ऐसा करिए, Sukhdev is someone who died with me. Sukhdev, तू ऐसा करिए, तू उसको बर्मन को लेके तू चले जाओ वहाँ पर दो. Immediately Sukhdev said, ठीक है सर, मैं वहाँ पर चले जाऊँगा. सर कितना सर 50 गए? हाँ सर 50-60 तक चले जाना है. He will go over there. He is not questioning me. Why are you sending me 50 yards? मेरे को क्यों, सब उसको महेंद्र को भेजो.
1000% trust on you.
Absolutely, and faith. He will not even. I'm saying it. All this happened. I'm looking back at those days. He goes over there and plonks over there, and he said, "Sab मैं fire करूँगा," and you keep firing over there. ऐसे कर ले महेंद्र, तू this chap goes over there, तू RL उधर से लगा देना और देखते रहना, जैसे वो आता है ना उसको मतलब ठोक देना. ठीक है सर, मैं करता हूँ. सब ऐसे करते, बलविंदर को पीछे से खिलाता हूँ. क्यों? सब मेरे पास 2 ही राउंड है, सो उसके पास 3 राउंड है. बलविंदर चल, ओके आगे. Now he goes off with बलविंदर over there with his RLs, without asking me, sir उधर आड़ मिलेगा, सर उधर से प्रॉब्लम हो जाएगा मेरे को आड़. He'll just go over there. When you are giving all these orders, your mind has got a little displaced. See how these people, and now you're building, look, I'm in command, I have to do something. If you've made a mistake, if you've given a wrong order, or because of the decision was wrong, you will live with it throughout your life. I'm sorry, that's it. This is not my words. This is what one brigade commander told me in the glacier. One chopper went down. Okay, they all died. He said, yeah, one of those things, I live with it throughout my whole life. He says, in battle, it's always, we would like to, it's good to retrieve the bodies, but may not always be possible. But let's get back to, how you were talking about 30 people, right? So now all these people are going, now you find yourself, look, I'm in the right person who will be making this thing. And by and large, the decision works. And you will have whatever it is. Like this was, we really held those people back. And we were told that Prabhakaran was there at that time. That was such a huge bond of fire. I almost got shot up also. My wounding was much later. I got shot up because I was howling out orders. You do this, you do that. And those fellows were listening. This is daytime, 11 o'clock. So they were listening and they were listening. Okay, some fellow is howling out orders from here. So bursts of fire came over here. But that damn LTTE also, they're not well trained. So they were firing way up. So you could see the branches coming out. So then my JCOs came to me and said, Sukhbir says, "Sahab, thoda dheere se baat mat karo, wo sun raha hai." Yeah, okay. So then phus mein gun mein usko bata de. Phus, talking in phus, talking in gun, different. These are things which happen on ground. Men teach you this, okay, when you're in ambush. So that's the answer to your, how do you motivate them? That's what happens over there.
This is full team. Social adaptability.
I don't know, that's what I'm saying. I learned, I don't know if there is any, have you ever come across any JAT or some friend of yours?
Quite a few.
Okay, quite a few of them. Yes, now, JATs, I'm talking about proper JATs. You must be knowing those refined JATs. JATs, by and large, they have Raginis, music. I come from the Northeast. Music is different for us, right? Now, JATs, what they have with Ragini is you pick up a matchbox and that is your instrument, not a guitar. Okay? And they sing or whatever it is, and in which I have said it's got no lyrics, it's got no rhythm, it's got no beat, it's got nothing over there, but they call it music. Those are my troops. And by God, how good it is yet to sing Ragini with them. Because anything goes, right?
Okay, sir. So after IPKF, what was the next ops in your life?
Yeah, we came out from IPKF, and then after that, then I was in the Airborne Brigade. That was a good time which was there.
What is this Airborne Brigade, sir? What's
There's
the name?
only one Airborne Brigade in the, in the Indian Army. And that's 51 Para Brigade. So I was the G3 there. So you come to know about big time operations, airborne operations. So far, SF operations. Helicopters, 15-20 people, that's it. Airborne operations much bigger. Battalion group. Brigade group, never heard. I've never done a brigade group. Yes, a lot of brigade groups, etc. You get to know the most strategic way of functioning.
Planning and organizing of operations?
Planning, organizing is one. Execution. Planning, a lot of people can do, right? That's the easy part. Organizing, then you get into an exercise, a little bit more difficult. Executing is the toughest part. When you suddenly find one aircraft has disgorged its load, you don't mind if that aircraft load of 40 people have landed somewhere else. But when you find that 40 people who come out from that aircraft, most of them has been, the aircraft has cut through the lop of the rear stream, then you are in trouble. When the whole exercise was cut off because so many casualties took place. It happened in Leh. Staknadis that it's called. These are all recorded, you can just check back. This is way back. Things have moved much ahead. Parachutes which you use in high altitude are different from parachutes which you use normally. Parachutes are those which can be steered or parachutes which cannot be steered. So those are those aspects which the SF complement did not put me through. If you are in the SF throughout, you will not know about them. Most of the people that you've told me about probably do not know about it. But your exposure to the airborne stream, that's where you come about what is, someone that you know at the Spearhead Battalion. What does the Spearhead do? Like the name it says. Then the Pathfinders which they have, they all have their own tasks. Very interesting. Unfortunately, never went through an airborne operation as such. The closest was Maldives. But when Maldives happened, we were more busy with the LTTE in Sri Lanka. So Maldives happened, it finished off.
Did you get inside the Maldives also?
No, we didn't get in. It wasn't, it was just done by one unit. 6 para.
6 para.
Yeah, and the brigade contingent was there. Must bring in a name called Brigade FFC Bulsara. He was the brigade commander over there. And we went in. It's just like how the Navy has got those 19 Pakistanis. It's okay. It's one of them. They've rescued them. Or the 11 chaps. Lucky. Fortunate. Right. Even getting Osama bin Laden was also fortunate, actually. Everything was happened. So that was as far as after the, that's in the brigade. After the brigade, where did I go after the brigade? Yeah, then...
you must have commanded.
So then after that it was, yes, they needed someone known, the SF school. You heard of this? It used to be known as the Special Forces Training Wing. And you see, because there was nothing in the Indian Army headquarters to cater for Special Ops. Special Ops was still tottering. And that's the time, experimenting, it happens anywhere. So a little bit they said, okay, let's make a headquarter. We'll look after all Special Ops. And we'll also, not airborne, Special Ops only. And we'll put them with a school because there was no formalized place where you could, train all the Special Force officers and men. So basically the training school was required because all the training that is taught in the Indian Army domain, they reached to a certain level. The requirement of the, now I can say SF, the Special Forces requirement is beyond that. Everybody does communication, everybody does, engineers, they do demolitions. But your requirement is demolitions where, there is with the platform of doing Special Ops. So I would like to get into Special Ops, and I want an engineer officer who is an expert in explosives. But that fellow is not he's not a Special Ops chaps. He can't tag along with me. He can't be inserted along with me. So you got to have your own person who should bring. So languages. I don't know what language this fellow is talking Kashmiri over there. I don't know. You see, he could be saying, actually the weather is very good. Or he could be saying anything to him. I'm just thinking that that's what it is. So you got to be very careful. So the best is to have your own. Have your own person who speaks Pashto. Have your own person who speaks Kashmiri. Incidentally, when you're fighting these, I would say, terrorists or militants in J&K, the language which hits best is, which language?
Kashmiri? No. Pashto?
No.
Hindi?
Punjabi.
Punjabi.
Straight away. Speak Punjabi. They all know Punjabi. And that was good because I had Nirmal Dhaliwal with me. So anywhere else, Nirmal, rest of your troop is resting. I said, tu idhar aaja, because I need you over there. Sudhir Walia. So these are the fellows who were with me. You want somebody to be knocked off. Not very easy. So good youngsters that I had with me.
Sir, what were you when Major Sudhir Walia was
I knew you would ask me. Sudhir Walia, more than Sudhir Walia, before Sudhir Walia, there's another fellow called, don't forget, Arun Jasrotia. Yeah. Jassi, Sudhir, Dhali, Jha, these are all names which ring a bell. They are all troopies with me. And I thought I gave them a tough time through all the times that they were with me because I was the team commander, they were troopies. But in retrospect, all these fellows do say, Thapa sir, aise karte the, waise karte the. So there was good fish flowing also. But then I liked to get my job done also. So there was no... Can you imagine, Special Force officers didn't know how to drive? There are cases. There are people. Nowadays, you don't have a gentry who comes, with cars in their houses. So I said, all right, we have a break in the afternoon, lunch break. Your lunch break is just 10 minutes to eat. Take this Jeep that I have, please start learning. Start driving. And they all driving. It didn't strike me till later on one of them said, he said, sir, actually, you did this. Anyway, so that is the part which is as far as are we talking about training? Or
no,
it takes all kinds of people, men, I would say men now, women are also coming in, to become, officers with a streak of specialists in them. They all you got to have a certain amount of eccentricity.
Now you're training people. You're part of the parachutes regimental training center.
No, it's Special Forces Training Wing. Which converted into Special Forces Training Wing. It used to be in a place called Nahan. It has now moved to a place called Baklow.
And you were commanding that school?
No, they required, the commanding was, it's a brigadier, this thing. The school, its headquarters was a brigadier, and the school was looked after a colonel. Someone who's experienced, let's put it that way. Invariably from the 9, 10 and 1 only, not the others, not opened up. And they had basically 3 teams which was working. One was a trade team, one was a specialist team, and one was, the team for doing the, I won't say administration, but selection process. It's a headache, right? So of this, a trade team is very simple. Okay, check his firing, check his 5 things that they check on.
What are they
firing? There's what you call communication, your explosives, signals ho gaya, then navigation. Have I said 5? So these are the 5 which is there. Language is not anybody's thing. It has not been. It was supposed to be part of it. So with these 5 trades, the trade team, worked with. There was also something known as a specialist team. This is the glamour team, which had a section which was looking after the free fallers, a section which was looking after the underwater drivers, and a section which was looking after the combat techniques. Combat techniques is, you heard of a STI, isn't it? A small team extraction and insertion extraction. Well, this word is very common in the Indian context. It was started in SFTW, or a fellow called, now he is a brigadier, Vijay Yadav from 10 Para. Because he came from abroad and he found it. So look at this STI. What is it? Simple. Get into a chopper, do a low hover, jump over, or get down a rope. You're wearing you're wearing your gloves, which is called slithering gloves now.
Ops,
We didn't have slithering ops gloves then. So he said, improvise it. So we had the rock climbing, those gloves which are there. So we used those. So,
improvise.
Yeah.
Factor 1, improvisation of a solution.
You have to, I don't say improvise, modify.
Modify, yeah.
Right?
Finding a solution within tight corners.
So the thing is, get the job done. So I have to fire a weapon. And you'll see in the drill ustads, whenever a firing takes place, which I have never, like infantry school, etc. Haath ko aise pakdo, 4 fingers from here, thumb from here, push the trigger, put your legs like this, put your like this. And now fire. Okay, and then, close my, I can't fire with my eyes like this. Most of the people fire. I have to have both my eyes open to fire. That's what the unit has taught me. I've always fired like that. And you please check out all these big time people, they all fire with their eyes open. Both their eyes open. What is right, I don't know. All right. Same thing, that is the trade part. As far as when you, so the school teaches you that, the trade part. Those people who come, they are just normal radio operators. Now you come and you start improvising explosives, your communications, combat skills, your unarmed combat. So these are things which the trade people do to bring them from a soldier mode into that specialist mode.
What is the special forces mindset?
Mindset. Nothing very different. But I can tell you the mindset is totally the attitude. Firstly, you don't have to be a 6-footer to be a special forces. Not because I'm sitting in front of you. I'll tell you, the ODA 152 came to interact with us. And I remember 4 of them, Nunez, Georgie, and the 4 of them were my height types only. Happiness. And the rest of them were, which is there, equally good. Each of them a specialist in dedication is what they had with them. Well, that's the Americans. You said about mindset. I don't want to wither away. The attitude, the job has got to be done. How important is the job? Should be done or not to be done? Is it worth it? Not worth it? See, it's not happening the way I'm telling you, 1, 2, 3. It's happening simultaneously. You know, I'm not going to touch. This is a losing battle. This guy will have me. I have 4 of them and 5 of them over there, and they will all eat me up alive over here. So what do I do now? Think. Simultaneously, these are not happening things. So I go, but one by one I can take all of them. So you move into an area, into a corridor where only one chap comes in front of you at any one time. There are 4 chaps over there. When you come to an corridor, the first chap comes, make sure that you take him. Hopefully you'll take the second one. Third, fourth, third chap you take and the fourth chap will probably run away. Things like that. There's a fellow called J.K. Rao who was in the Indian Navy, still in Bombay. Trace him and you can just say, Sanjay Thapa ne aise kahani bataya tha kuch. Did it happen?
What's the kahani?
It's not the corridor which happened. There was a fight in the police station, in Tewara police station. One of those things. That's when I was doing diving. J.K. Rao, he retired as a commander, lieutenant commander. I don't know. But he was there on the scooter and he said, let's go. I had my ego. You're talking about mindset. Ego, one of them. I'll be damned if I'll be taken on. Why? Because my ego said, I've done this thing, I've done diving, I've jumped from that Tewara bridge umpteen number of times. I can take these blighters. I don't know what happened. I retreated when dirty fighting started off. Because there was road construction rubble over there. So because they found that thing. When I came towards these fellows, 5 fellows. When I came towards this 1 or 2 chaps, they retracted. Then these fellows came this side. I shouldn't be telling you this. So this is what happened. Then somebody got wise and they started taking mud and throwing at me from a distance. So then I said, okay, he was on a scooter. So we sat on a scooter and then we just sped off. He was telling me we could have gone off before also. But we did that. So silly.
So when did you do diving, sir?
84, 85.
And then what all specializations have you done as a part of, what are the different courses that you've done as a part of conversions? I think combat free.
I don't want to bring in. Last course that I did was IO's course also.
That is something that I'll get it.
No, I'll tell you. I was lucky that I could do underwater diving. I was lucky I could do free fall.
Combat free fall.
I also went and we did missile firing. Not in the Indian context. There were those people who came. Milans are those which is, Anglo, Italian, those combined. So that's imagine I'm forgetting it. Milan is made by a group of, so they had come down to a place called Mirthal, and that's the guards who were being trained, and we were top-tailed because the guards were the mainstay who would be having this for the battle in the deserts, the mechanized weapon for anti-tank. But they were given to us also. And see, improvisation, you use that word, right? My CEO later on, he said, Sanjay, let's take these missiles and take it to those heights. So when we see those Paki choppers coming from down below, we'll fire at them from here. The second generation. I said, yes, sir, we can try it. But Paki choppers never came. But those are improvisations you can do. There's a terrific Mira night site over there. Later on, when we were in Hazrat Bal and in Srinagar, that's the time when then DB Shekatkar, who was my first CO in 6 Marathas, I was in Special Forces as a team commander and he was GOC 8 Div. He said, Sanjay, tere paas wo hai na, you got those Mira night sites. Get them over because we don't have night sites. Mira night site gives you a terrific, it's infrared.
This was sites. In Hazrat Bal. But then after that, you went to command 9 or 10. Which unit did you command?
Yeah, then... Correct, that's right. Then I had a holding period in PARA Center here in Bangalore.
In Bangalore.
Yeah, but then after that, then I was sent off to command special group.
SG.
And because at that time, all the special, you see, there's a time you have to fit into some slot. So all these special forces units in the country were all filled. They were all filled by 9 para people. So 9 para, there was already 1 officer, so I can't displace him. He's a good friend. So I went to SG. 51 had 1 9 para officer. 52 had 1 officer who was 9 para. 31, you know what is 51, 52? You know 51, 52?
The NSG units you're talking about?
SAG.
Special Action Group.
They are the actual NSG, not SRGs. 51, 52, 31. Was also we were all 9 para officers over there. All contemporaries, 6 months up, 6 months down. Because we all had to be placed. To that extent, we still had 1 more person. There was no special unit left. So he was put into 4 para. which he converted subsequently into SF. That's the person who I was telling you about, Sangha. So, so that's it. So then I went to SG, commanded. SG was a very, SG is in Sarsawa. It's less said about that is better. But SG is the muscle power of RNAW. Okay, and best leave it at that. That's the time I met this fellow also, Ajit Doval, and we spoke more about Gadwalis because my dad was from Gadwals, and he is a Gadwali, which I didn't know, and there's a Gadwali tie which I said, okay, I had this Gadwal regiment, so he wears that Gadwal tie now, and there are the Hasish organizations. A lot of actions over there. In fact, the number of awards that the SG has reaped in its whole history so far was during when I was there.
When you were commanding the unit?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's called Commander over there. But we'll leave it at that only. It's just one of those things. It has ups and downs. One of those things which was there. Yes, one thing which SG gave me was we went to Langley. You know Langley?
Yeah.
And there is something which keeps on coming. You know, one of the raw persons disappeared. He was there with us. He was the team leader. And we went over there. We didn't know all this. But we went for a workshop, which was a different altogether, which we did and came back.
Langley, you mean Virginia?
Yeah. What else?
Yeah.
Langley, Virginia. Then tell me more.
That's all I would like to say.
Yeah, so that's it.
Yeah.
Right? So then the Quantico affair got a little stub. That was to be subsequent. But that's the special group. I mean, highlights which I can tell you about, right? Which I should tell you about. But that's special group. And after special group, let me tell you, after that, then where did I go? Again, you know, a cushioning period. No, not then. Then I came cushioning. Oh, and then I came to 106.
106 PARA TA.
Yeah,
Bangalore.
Right.
Yeah.
In Bangalore. That's I myself.
This was when?
Push and come down.
This
after
was
SG.
2000 something.
4, 5, 6 or something.
By then, Mahendra Singh Dhoni, was he commissioned in the unit?
No, he wasn't there. He wasn't there.
But he is commissioned in 106 PARA TA, right?
That's right. Later time frame.
Yeah.
And then after that, while I was in 106, and 106 was not in Bangalore. It is located in Bangalore, but we were all in Rajouri.
Yeah.
So that is again home time for me here, Paramandi and all those areas where I was with these.
Sir, as a CEO, have you gotten into any ops?
Yeah, we had to. Yeah.
So
that's what I have learned. You can't stay. A lot of CEOs don't.
What do you mean by lead by example?
Lead by example means that the top man goes right in front. Right in front means you're close by over there. And it works most of the time. But a good number of times also, you're a hindrance. If I've got a company commander who's functioning over there, I don't want to sit on his head because he's looking after his 3 troop commanders. I trust, or you better trust that company commander, that he will command those troop commanders well, just like the troop commanders will look after the teams that they have. They do the job that they're supposed to do. You don't expect success everywhere. You don't join the Army, Navy or Air Force to become generals and admirals in this thing. Right? So that, I'll just leave it at that only. Maybe it'll come later on. But I'm saying, trust them. So you don't always go by front. But at least up to the level of the CO, you should be, at a place where the person who is working there don't interfere in his work. Not even give an instance of as to, suggest anything. I would say just give it to him unless he's going blatantly wrong. It's very difficult to quantify what is blatantly wrong. Still, trust him. You're losing a trust if you pump in your bit over there. And then just be there. When he looks back, okay, what do you want? You want ammunition? Okay, I'll handle it. He looks back, so I need water over there. So I need medical help. Be there. That is front enough for a CO. a number of times now elsewhere in the Indian Army format, if you just see now, it's not so, because, you know, you just got 2 officers in a company. So this, you know, and one is on leave, on course, whichever, so there's only one person who's handling it. So he could do with some help. COs don't go there, the JCOs take on. They are not bad also. The JCOs can perform equally well. But they have got their, you know, they've got the plus and their minus points also. So the COs don't really go up over there. Which again, you know, the graph came down, COs don't go up. Now again, the graph has gone up lately after I've retired. The COs are going anywhere and everywhere. Trying to be a no mistake syndrome kind of a thing. I don't want anything wrong to happen. Operations, you can't calculate. It's not, you can't, they say calibrated, surgical, these words, when next time somebody says it in front of you, there's always a lot of room for, you know, contesting these people. So can you please tell me what is this calibrated? What is surgical? That's so much about it. Good English words. They look good on paper. Things happen more, you know, as it develops. And that is where the professionalism comes in. तूने बताया था कि भाई ऐसे तू ऐसे करेगा. No, but I didn't do that, sir. It's like the same thing which I was telling you about. That's where we got, you know, that fellow gave up his hand. That weapon that you're firing on the range, I only want my weapon rifle to fire that round and hit the target. That's what you want, isn't it? Why are you after him to say, hold it like this, and, you know, you don't know patthar lag raha hai udhar wahan par. Simple as that. And actually, we were in France. That's where we went for firing, because we were firing because there was no other, you know, the jump got, it was not cancelled. It was cancelled subsequently with bad weather. So we were just firing. They all carry their weapons and things. So you're carrying a pistol, and we all have a, you know, outstretched armed and doing it. We've got our own systems which is there. That's where that French chap was telling that other French. He says, you want this position or you want that position? I want this weapon to just fire that round and hit the target. You hit the target, whatever position you've done is good enough. But I said, don't tell me anything else beyond that. So these are things what your question that you were saying, you know, that as to, you know, where the commander should be, or even as, okay, let me continue, right? Because then again you'll bring me back. So after this thing went to TA, after that then I got my next rank. And then I went to Wular. Okay, 5 sector. You should know that.
Yes, so one second. Wular Lake and headquarters 5 sector most talked about geography in the history of CICT of Union.
Yeah. You see, because anything else, Patan is here, Kupwara is there. You see, these are all, anything happens in Kupwara, they are the thing. You know, in Handwara something happens, these are all the sector people over there, but 5 is in the center of it. Fine, nothing much. Someone has to command it. So there was one name which came and you went and reached out for it. Instantly, that's the same sector which was commanded by Bipin Rawat also. Bipin Rawat did his time, somebody else came, and then I came in. Now, that place over there, besides the naval part which was there.
Can you please tell us the naval part?
The naval part? The naval part, well, the Marcos has got two prahars over there. And the 2 prahars is actually it's just 1 prahar, but because the changeover is every 6 months. Please get this checked, because this could have changed over the last 10 years or so. So 1 prahar is there. So the second prahar is built up on it, so that you know, they learn something on the job. There's an overlap, and the whole thing is not new. Logical way of doing it, everybody does it. So at any one time, you've got 2 prahars over there, and they are looking actually for the security, or, you know, that nothing untoward happens in Wular Lake. They've done nothing in the Wular Lake because nothing happens over there. But a lot of things happens in the hinterland, right? So when I was there, I said they must be employed. At least, you know, outer ring, or at least the stops could be looked by them. Surveillance, passing of intelligence, and to quite an extent, they did very well. Very well means they did what I asked them to do. So we went, so we sat, so like nothing came. 72 hours, you're back. Fine. No problem over there. But then some operations were also there where it could be anybody, you know, who could have happened over there. He got caught by surprise. A spray of bullets came. One chap got injured. He succumbed to his. But that death aside, it brought in more blood into that Marcos over there. It then delved into Marcos elsewhere. In Bombay and all this. Yeah, must go to Marcos. And I'm in Marcos is not good enough. I must do a tour of duty of Wular, of JNK. That I think still stands. Anybody who's gone into Marcos, have you done your Afghanistan? That kind of a thing, kind of this thing, which is good. So that was the part about Marcos, because you asked me to do it. But the other RR units did equally well. And the biggest problem I had was because I was sitting there, and there was 1 para, 4 para commandos then, 6 para was there, airborne troops. And all of them used to come see us and, sir, I want to meet you, sir. You know, I've got this information of this area. Everybody has information, and I want to hit the militant. Everybody wants that kill. See, that motivation is not required. You know, that motivation is always there. You have to hold them back. And I have to hold them back because, you know, what you are telling me over there, my chap who's the RR chap, RR Rashtriya Rifles, he already has told me about it. And what you are telling me, wo to Maulvi hai bechara. And he's been here for things. There was sometimes, you know, part of the fun to be a paratrooper over there, and also people around you, and all those COs over there are people who you know very well. So I liked it. I must bring in, yes, there was a DIG also over there, and he was really Munir Khan. Must have been, he's retired by now. He was the DIG over there, and Munir Khan saw the way that I was functioning. And it's not that I told him anything, but he also started functioning the same way. There was some contact which had taken place. You know, contact means some action had taken place. We in the evening, and we were playing basketball. That's what it is. I got nothing else to do. Let me play basketball. And once we were playing, when the message came, they said that contact. Okay, good. Keep me informed. Kept playing. Then after that, I said, sir, this person got injured. I said, oh, I see. Said, no, sir, not fatal. Said, okay, fine. Kept playing. He said, no, sir, 3 more people have got injured. I said, no, I've got to go. So I rushed back to my room, so at least from my half pant and shirt. Why I'm saying it, don't laugh, because I had to change into some kind of, you know, military gear. So when I went in over there, my wife was also there. And just one bathroom. So she was having her, she was using the washroom. I can't wait for the washroom. So in my t-shirt and my half pant, I went to the op area. Pistol inside that same place I told you. Right? The most comfortable place. After some time, things were pretty bad over there. It started raining. And then after that, obviously that white t-shirt, I didn't have to camouflage it. It started getting dirty on its own. Mudsliding, etc. Next day, the GOC came. Kilo Force. And who's the GOC? He's here only. Is General George. And General George saw me over there. Totally thoroughly pumped. He understood why I am in that dress. Not a single time he said, why in this dress or whatever it is. So that first day he was with me, and then we didn't come back. That's it. Whatever is there, some kind of rain cape came in, whichever way. Then after the Corps commander said he will also like to come. That's the time he said, yes, Sanjay, can we have this thing? He said, no, sir, it's already coming. So when the Corps commander came, it was and then after that, then I was in a dangri. But what I want to say, now when the Corps commander came to go to the site, I've been going to the site of action and coming back. We had not retrieved 2 bodies. One of them was the body of a para officer from 1 para, Captain Juss, newly inducted. So that body had not been extracted. I didn't have to tell anybody, but I said, we are not going to release from that place without taking out the body from there. We don't know whether he's dead or alive. And his mobile had been found by that militant, had taken it. I spoke to him. Tosif. I spoke to Tosif. I said, look, I want the body. Rest whatever you want. Tosif said, nahi, abhi to hum hamare paas hain. Actually, it was not with him. They had also they had just picked up his mobile, but he was there, lying there only. And to cut this thing, when the Corps commander came, I told him, come sir, let's go. The whole area is secured. I'm confident my troops have secured it. this GOC was from the Guerrilla Rifles. He said, Sanjay, first let's not take the Corps Command any further. I said, come sir, nothing going to happen, trust me. And I pulled it up. I've got my weapon. So I was in front, then the Corps Command, then the GOC behind.
Yeah.
And we went in, I showed him the side. And later on, the staff officer, he will not understand, the BGS, who was known to us, and Brigade is all, he's a senior brigadier, that's all. He told me, he said, Sanjay, तुमने एक चीज अच्छा करते by taking the Corps Commander to the site. Because यहाँ पर आने के बाद, nobody can fudge with us, he was from there and he came, and the Corps Commander knew everything. It's just about 50 yards behind. Yeah, that's quite difficult. So the Corps Commander understood everything, and he says, the BJ said it made it so easy for us, telling him the whole thing, because the Corps Commander is in his room only watching everything which is happening, which has got to be explained by so many people. Those are small kinds of, what I'm saying is achievements, which nobody thinks of it as an achievement. It is me when I go back after 1 or 2 days, when I'm back in my room and I'm just looking at the sky, and not sky, I'm looking at the roof, and just before going to sleep I think, look, this had happened, that happened, and what a satisfaction of having done a job well to myself. Nobody gave me anything. Nothing came out from that time that we all spent. None of the 5 chaps went beyond the brigade. Even the GOC didn't make it to the next rank. None of us got any awards because of some silly incident. That's separate. That's okay. Goes by then. Except Tiny Dillon, who came later on. You know who's Tiny Dillon? He comes in this podcast with that lady, etc. Yeah, good chap. We call him Tiny because he's 6 foot. So he was from Rajrif. So Rajrif Corps Commander, they will put. Fine, but leave this part of it. So that is, hang on, now I will control it. Now after that came out, it's finished. And then after that, obviously, now I'm getting old, Brigade Command, ho gaya wahan par. We will be looking for the next rank to come, which we all knew that's unlikely in the kind of, that the criteria that people want. Over there now you're not looking really as operations so much as other aspects in life also, which I guess also has got its place. I'm not bothered here, right? So whatever it is. So then after that, did some time in Siberia. I was the last Siberia commander, because then after that a major general came. So then that's okay. It's a good time, good golfing. And then after that came to somewhere along, when did I do my SSB? Somewhere I did this thing in IO, and I didn't know that my whole doing of IO was just to be in Bangalore. With my family was here. So came back, and then after that, that's where I finished off from.
So you became an interviewing officer. And
then after that, went, then after that, that's the
and
end of it.
And then you were an IO in 17 mode.
Wait. Then, since now this is now not talking about your PAN card, if you're talking about Sanjay Thapa, then after that Sanjay Thapa got pulled into an organization called the CAPF.
Yeah.
And then the CRPF were the lead people to have a series of special forces organization called Cobra. In which they said 10 battalions we will raise. And so those 10 battalions to be raised, they opened up a school called the CSJWT in Belgaum. So I went and took over that. So then did whatever this thing, and highlights over there was, okay, they did their best, but they've got their, you see the big change, but I did my best to make them the best that they are. Performance, etc. You got to match it not with the army or this thing, you got to match it along with the other things. So they're still doing a good job in the Maoist area. And then after that, I became 60 years and I came out. Word of mouth, somebody said, let's go to. So I went to Bombay, Cuff Parade, Kolaba, got a job. So I went to Bombay, Cuff Parade, Kolaba, got a job over there as senior vice president, HR, administration, etc. And had a ball of a time. That was the first time I went, and they gave me a BMW. Said, so driver is not. I said, I'll drive it. I found BMW, automatic, never driven. So I just sat in the vehicle and played around with the thing. As I came back, took a Ola, Uber, did whatever I had to do, came back. So that's it. Then after that, I've been here. 22 September, March, April onwards is when Bangalore has seen me. And it's good life of a retired officer. I'm pretty busy, incidentally, that you must have noticed, doing nothing.
So, sir, you've touched almost all the points where you've commanded. Yeah. But, sir, would you like to tell something that you planned for some operation, कि यार ये इतने घंटे के लिए चलेगा, लेकिन then it got escalated, the weather went against you, and then somehow you had to come back alive, and you thought कि यार आज नहीं वापस आ रहा मैं, but you made it alive back.
Firstly, planned of something of a period of say 24 to 48 to 70 to 96, and that getting extended, there are too many of them. And more often than not, the reason of extension has not really been the weather. It's raining, that's it. We are not made of salt, so it's okay, we'll survive. More often than not, the extension has been because the target has not come in the time frame that we had planned. So, oh no, he's got delayed, so probably he'll come tomorrow. So you please wait until tomorrow. So then you survive there till tomorrow. Keeping your hide is still in. You've not been exposed as yet. You've not been compromised. So you continue. So extension has been always over there. Modifying to that extension, by and large, we are able to get ourselves refurbished. Right? Because you're really looking at the ammunition that you have, ammunition you've got. Smaller item like, I'm running out of my clothes, of my underclothes or something like that, doesn't really matter. Okay, so we've been there. Exhaustion and is not really issue also. Yeah, it could be, so I had to go on leave because my marriage is due, so now it's getting a little late. Those have been coming in. I'm telling you the actual, these are things that I have confronted. I have to go home. Leave is, I was supposed to be back by now and then go home. So that may get disrupted, which has happened. I feel bad for them also, but there's nothing that you could do. So extensions have been more, by and large, because the target has not been available. And then we had to come back. Let me tell you, you go out 20 times, you'll be lucky if you make any contact. I've put a figure of 20. Maybe on the 21st outing, you might get a hit. So those are luck. If you are fortunate, I'm saying because we are looking forward to, firing. There are a lot of people in the army, I don't know about the other services, who've served fully in the army and come out and they've not ever fired a weapon on the enemy. Yes, I would like to tell you about a doctor who was with me, because it was a difficult, where, a doctor would be difficult. But doctor was from my unit only. So that's where he could come along with us. I think probably the only doctor who's actually fought and killed a militant. But everybody in the troop are of the opinion, sir, actually वो मर चुका था सब, लेकिन डॉक्टर साहब ने फिर भी गोली ठोक दिया उसके ऊपर. No, but and when I asked him, I said, Nagi, you shot on a dead militant? No, sir, it was moving. I could see it. And so a dead militant is always a better proposition than a live one. So that fellow had tried putting a grenade. These people are very motivated. So what he had done was he was trying to remove a grenade and get over it, so that when people come to take it up, pull up the body, well, it'll take one or two more along with him. He couldn't do that. I'm of the opinion probably this person, doctor, having shot him till the end to make sure that he's dead, was something which could have really erupted in a bigger scheme. So things like that do happen. But extension never because of weather. Never. Well, bad weather, but you say bad weather. I don't like using the word bad. Inclement weather.
Inclement.
That's the best time for special ops. That's the best time. You can't see anybody, that person, you got your night vision devices, you can fight against the rain. The other person is not. The other person is cold. I'm not bothered whether I'm cold or not, or if I'm wet. No sweat. Right? So that is what would be my simple answer. I can't say anything more than that.
So any time that you recall that I am not going to make back alive, or my boys and me, we are stuck, I have to get out of this somehow.
Not just me, but there is, I'm a God-fearing person, but I'm not so much into it also just yet. I think I'm reaching that age now. But whenever we leave the camp location, I mean, if you are deployed ahead, you know, there is a small mandir, or even the mandir is not there, everybody gets together, okay. One of the drills that you follow, Sarvadarstal, but it doesn't matter who's there. You know, leaving the camp means you have to, you know, have your round in your chamber. Your weapon must have a round in the chamber. That's how you, so you do that drill, round in chamber, and then before you move out, you just say a small thing, okay, Timlai Mata Ki Jai, or something which our unit, you know, focuses upon or believes upon. And then you just said it as a drill. And that part is probably going to cater for that in case you don't come back alive. It's like when you're going for a jump also. Normal, simple jump, static line, you're wearing your parachutes. You know, there's a check, double check, triple check, quadruple check, pentuple check. I don't know how many times you keep getting checked. Is your parachute all okay? And while you're getting ready to jump out, you know, there is always a person. The person will say, you know, Chhatri Mata Ki Jai. Why are everybody is howling out? Why? Out of fear to probably quench it or whatever. I don't know if my parachute will open or not. 100% it will damn open here. I know it. Everybody knows it. But you'll also say Jai very much. Then after some time, we're still not yet jumped out. So you'll say helmet Mata Bapu Ki Jai. And then you say patti. You know, patti is what you wear on your anklets. Patti Mata Ki Jai. You know, those kind of things are there. What do these things, so they all show that maybe this is the last time that we are jumping out. So those aspects do come in. Let me tell you, there's nobody who can say that I'm not scared. I think Sam Manekshaw said, you know, if you find a person who is not scared, then it's a Gurkha or something like that. God bless his soul, he's not around, but I was so, no, Gurkhas are also scared. Look at me, I'm telling you, I may have 800 jumps with me. But if I've done my last jump 2 years ago, 5 years ago, and there's someone who's just done 4 jumps, but he's just done it in the last few days. So he's come for his 5th jump, I've come for my 801st jump, but I've come after a gap. I will be scared, right? So to say that you're not scared, this thing. Yeah, there are ways and means of, where that scare gets diluted.
But you are taking a purposive risk willingly.
Yeah.
So that's the catch.
The catch is, did I not tell you that, you must have a certain amount of eccentricity. I won't say to be special forces, to be a paratrooper also. Or anybody who takes this step over there. That parachute may open, may not open. So many things. If you keep on talking like that, life is not much fun. See how many times I brought this word fun. Life is not much fun if you don't take those chances. And I think fortune does. I have been shot up where I thought.
What is the story of these splinters? When did you get this?
I got shot up. I got wounded twice in battle. Yeah, this is. Now you are extending this, whatever we are talking, right?
Yeah.
What happened was, this is in Sri Lanka. In Sri Lanka, you see, information is very poor. Even our maps were not really true to what it was on paper. They're probably made by the British, which was just reprinted, not re-edited also, or whatever it is. So we used to, in fact, my map used to be colored by one person called General Nanavati. He said, no, Sanjay, you go and listen to the briefing. I will do up your map for you. And that is the type that we had, scheme of things that we used to have when going for ops. Now, when we are going for ops, we don't have any int of the value. Information you have. Information is different from intelligence. Information, wide, anybody will know. Intelligence, yes, I know. He's there. He comes in the evening. Probably between this time frame he has come, and that's when we will take him on. So we didn't have information also, we didn't have intelligence. So the thing was, those initial days of Sri Lanka was when we said, instead of killing that fellow, grab that fellow. Catch him, tweak him, and he'll be able to sing out something, and that'll get you to a bigger target. So in a place called Nelliyadi, wherever it is in Sri Lanka, northern Sri Lanka, there was this person, and he shot like this within, Brito will know. He shot at me from within 6 feet, and so we were all chasing him. Oh, marna nahi, everybody's saying, everybody's running after him to actually grab him. And those fellows, their bare body on top and just lungi. And by God, when you tie up that lungi on top and make it into a half pant, you can really take long strides. So, but we chased him, and then we were chasing when I thought I've got this fellow, and then he just took out a revolver from where I don't know, and he think bang, 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 and he shot. And then after that, the moment the shots came, then I stopped. Everybody else also stopped. And I was more of it was a shock. I just stood over there only. And then after that, they disappeared at night. In the night, they all disappeared. Next morning, we came searching over there. We found the pistol over there. What that fellow done, when you're shooting a pistol on the move, and that also when you're running this side and you're shooting behind without really taking aim. Thank God for small mercies. If he had taken aim 6 feet, unlikely he's going to miss. It fell off from his hand. It gives a kick. Fell off from his hand.
Very cold.
Yeah. So that is how it came. Next morning, those fellows were there only. The next morning, again, we got into an IED. 3 of us got pulled down. So I fell on top. There was a bunny, the rice fields, paddy fields, whatever fields they were. So I got shot, and then I fell down over here. But my legs were on top. So that initial thing burst was what hit me over here. Bulletproof vest. So that hit me over here, which put me into shock and I fell down, and I got shot up here, which all those sharpness and all is still there. And then after that, my legs were on top. Another burst came, and that burst ripped into my legs. You've not seen that scar. Well, that scar is still there. And then the legs came behind the bunny. So the legs was also covered now. Now they can keep firing, but they can't see me. So that's how a little bit of my leg wound saved me from the others, from the other burst. So did I get a second life, third life over there? Maybe. But still alive, yeah, that's okay.
Any other ops that happened in JN cases? Again, you said,
There's so many, I don't know. So many could have happened. Just crossing the river. Ashwini, Chima and self going in a river, crossing over. When, you know, the water came first, chest level, what do you call it, waist level, then came up and up and up. Yes, I can swim, I'm a diver, but the thing is, when the water started coming up here, then it became quite, but we kept going. I said, no, hopeful. Yeah, that's why, so just hoping that the next step will be start climbing, next step. So it kept going on, and throughout I was saying, I hope the next step will be now higher, because it has to go up. The graph has to go up, I know it. When is the thing? And so, but fortunately, you know, the graph started going up. So then I started coming up over there. God bless his soul. Poor Ashwini Chima was with me. Terrific times. That's the Sri Lanka part, where we didn't have GPSs. But even today, or even time that I left, and even when I spoke to quite a lot of SAS people, they say, yes, we've got GPS, etc. But he said, we don't leave that prismatic compass still. We still have that, you know, dangling over there, just in case you don't get a satellite. They need satellites, at least 3 satellites are required. Just in case it packs up, weather is packed up, big clouds, so I'm not getting, my battery has got packed up. The prismatic compass will still tell me where is north and wherever it is. So these are those cases.
And have you had the chance of operating with special forces of other countries?
Yeah, not in operations.
But training?
Yes, training. Operations also. Bhutan police. Bhutan police special force. Yeah, they are all Japanese trained. Bhutan police. Bhutan army is not as big as the police. Their police is much stronger. And I think, so there was in the northeast, we were supposed to, that was Alpha and Ulfa, is what you would know, and Bodoland, etc., which was going on. And all the camps was in the borderland of Bhutan. That is where I went in. Now that is where, yes, going into a camp, I went into a camp. There were people who were there and went into a camp, and those fellows looked at me and they said, what are you doing here? And I told them, I said, look, I'm a teacher in Guwahati and we've got a football match on, and a lot of my students are here who come from this area. They have not returned, so I've come to look for them because we need them to play football for the school. I didn't plan for it. It's when I got caught that, you know, that, oh, I have stumbled into a camp. That's the time when I said, let me think, and this story just came up. And it kept singing, so I went over there, and then we had good pork and rice. And after that, because they all speak like Punjabi over there in the border land of Bhutan, southern border, they all speak Nepali. So I could swing in Nepali. And then when I told them, I said, yeah, I'm a teacher over there, I'm there. This is what I do. So I came back, and we kept waiting and kept waiting, hoping something will happen, but didn't happen because Mr. Gujral, he was the external affairs minister, and I'm saying that because it's the external affairs ministry who put a stop, said no, you will not go in. So thereafter that we just had a good time in Thimphu and came back. Operation didn't take place. Otherwise, we were supposed to organize people who will guides, who will take you to those camps from our side. That had been organized. That was ready. But no-go means no-go. That's how things work. That's how that doctor got Osama bin Laden. Right? So these are things which take on.
So now, like I have already told the audience that you have been an interviewing officer also, and for a fact, I know only you. Who knows what does it take to become a commando, special forces officer? But before that, a civilian becoming an army officer or a naval officer or an air force officer. You've been an interviewing officer as well, right? What do you think, sir, that lacks in today's generation that come to appear for the Services Selection Board or the Air Force Selection Board? Because you have seen the entire org, the Special Forces universe, that I would say, in 360 degrees T-radian. You have seen things right from the beginning. And the josh, the motivation is really very high that people want to join the Special Forces. मेरे को आर्मी ज्वाइन करना है, स्पेशल फोर्सेस ज्वाइन करना है. But the step number 1 is to clear the SSB, then clear your basic military training. Uske baad this story will start. And you've been on the chair of an interviewing officer. What do you think that where is this lack? Where is this? कहाँ पे ये gap है कि people don't get recommended today, specifically for Gen Z, Gen Alpha, and millennials?
Okay, I've listened to all that you said. The first thing is, not everybody who joined the, who has the aspirations to join the defense services are keen to join the special forces. The bulk of special forces is just a small unit. Nowadays, with so many units over there, it's gone into thousands. Earlier, it was not so much. It was lesser thousands. Just 2-3 units only, 700-800 people each. That's still a very small, minuscule in that whole gamut of the defense services. That's one. But I do understand that most of them, surprisingly, they all want to do special forces. To the extent there's a person who joins an Air Force candidate also, so I want to join the Garuds, without knowing what Garuds is doing, or what the Marcos is doing, or what the Indian Special Forces are doing. So, but I grant them the Josh that I would like to join that. So that Josh is there. So they come in to join. Two kinds of stock of people who come in. One stock of people who are genuinely keen to join the Army, Navy, Air Force. Who are keen to join the Army, Navy, Air Force. And see what you said, Gen X and the new millennials, etc. Now, compared to these people and not you, maybe our time, it was very limited. There was nothing called B.Tech shit, etc. It was just BSc Science or whatever that you did, right? And the choices were less. So for us joining, I would say I would give more credit to the present people, whoever actually genuinely says, I know I can be investment banker, I can be this, that, but I'd like to join the defense services. So that is one category. The second category of people are those who've tried here, there, abhi kahin nahi ho raha hai, I have not, so this thing, so let me try the defense services. So with that kind of a motivation, is the second lot. There is nothing somewhere in between. The people who are of the first category, who are genuinely over there, they have all the options, but they would like to come in. I would say bulk of the people who clear it would be from them, because there has to be a genuinity in verifying a person that he is actually keen to join the defense service, the uniform, or there has to be something authentic should be there. You just spoke to him and you're talking about everything about looking for his this your factor 1 and factor 2, and that's what you'll understand. You find he's told you total about his personality. Nowhere has that person, could be a boy or a girl, brought in anything about the keenness for outdoors, keenness for adventure activities. To say that person will fit into the defense services, maybe, with a pinch of salt, because your job is actually all outdoors. Suddenly you put him over there and then you find, no, this is not what. So if you want to push pen and do babugiri, do a bank manager or a chartered accountant, data accountancy, this is not the place. That is also a very good line. This is not the place. That's where I said, the authenticity, genuinity should be there. But a person comes in over there and he says, sir, I'm very keen on adventure. I'll tell you one person, in fact, she's made it also. I spoke to her on telephone. We had sessions of 1 hour or 2 hours, She's from six her father was in 6 Marathas. That was the link. So the way that she said, uncle, I'm really keen on special and in activities, adventure activities, and I really like I'd like to do kayaking, and she wanted to join Navy also. Now kayaking, Navy, well, except for the water, nothing much. But look at the way that she was telling me. She said, actually, a friend of mine just came back from Singapore. She's done, she did kayaking over there, and she was telling us so much about it. I got so excited into it. And then she showed us some videos. Then after that, I checked up, I saw video clips, I checked up on the internet. I found it so fascinating. Uncle, I want to do kayaking. So in actual fact, she's not done kayaking ever. But she's got that, she's exposed her genuineness for kayaking, which is an adventure activity. I've not checked up whether she's made it or not. But this is, this is the kind of you'd like to see. You have to be intelligent. You've got to have that thing of being, leadership qualities have got to be there. By and large, everybody will swing through there. But these little, small issues which come in, which will tell you, okay, this person is just 80% type, not really a academician or such, but a person who is totally dedicated to the Air Force, who knows all the fighters and knows all the aircrafts, knows all the transport, knows all the aircrafts in the Army also, knows all the aircrafts in the Navy also, but has chosen Air Force because for to fly a Sukhoi. And he knows everything about the Sukhoi, which is much more than, now that person has established as a genuine person, who wants to fly Sukhoi, but marks and all are not so good. So I'm not really bothered whether what marks that you got. You cleared the UPSC exam to show that you are good or not good, isn't it? Don't go into that. You see, as a person, you've got that interest, you've got that, this thing into you. Those are the kind of people who I would say will make it clear. You can't just come and...
So basically genuinity and originality.
Yeah, originality. Be yourself. I don't think I can put a figure to it. There are a lot of contacts. This Brito that we spoke about, Colonel Brito, he made a remark. He said, Sanjay, because he was my team commander when I was a troopie, he said, Sanjay, I think maximum contacts that anybody has had in the unit, I think you have had maximum contacts.
This was 9.
In 9, yeah. So, well, that says something. A lot of contacts means a lot of firing, yes. If I've had 5 casualties from my troops, where I was as a team commander or as this thing. And,
how do you handle a casualty when you are speaking to the families?
Oh, including speaking to an officer who got killed. He got a Shaurya Chakra. But you have to think, this is when I was in special group. There is someone called Uday Kumar. Uday Singh. And just then, there was a Uday Singh who died in the US Army also. So, a lot of mix-ups were there. But he was from one para, but he died when he was serving in special groups in Thanamandi. So, I had to speak to his dad and mom. Mom was more acceptable. We are still in touch, and it hit him very badly. He's got a daughter. And Lalima is still, I'm in touch with the family. We are in touch. There's no, but that is tough. And of course, the other men who died, Anil, Sukhdev, and I told you Sukhdev, the person who died. Sukhdev, then Masi, 5 people have died within my command that is there. So I can't tell you how many I killed, but I would say these fellows have died when I was there fighting.
How do you handle the families?
I don't handle the families because then it becomes a Pulton ka baby, and the Pulton handles it very well. We have all our get-togethers which is there. First priority, everything is to the families which are there. The families, more or less, what happens is, they start reconciling to it, and then they drift away from the unit. Most of them, but natural. But some of them keep on. Like Arun Jasrotia's family, Walia's family. These are officers. Men, they tend to drift apart. But we try and keep track of them. Where are they and what are they doing? And look after the children. There are quite a few of them. I can't put my finger as to how many. Quite a few of them who've taken on to their fathers after their father passed away. They've joined us in the unit. So those aspects are there. A little sad part. These things hit you bad.
So, sir, how many interviews you would have taken?
For candidates?
Yeah.
Yeah, that says 1100 something. I'll have to check that certificate which I got.
Sir.
But that
Yeah,
they
the
were
center
all,
gives you the
yeah,
certificate.
yeah, that's that. But it's good fun speaking to them. And
sir, under your observation, how many commandos would have done probation?
how many commandos?
Yeah, because I would not say officers, JATs. Commando is a commando, right?
Yes.
So how many commandos went through probation?
I can say many. I don't know how many. They keep coming and going. Officers keep coming. There is no course which is written, but it is so timed that, we have a sprinkling of officers, and with them there'll be about 30-40 people. You see, the intake is not only just from the mother regiments, para center, but you get from the other regiments also, which does not include infantry only. They could come from the armored corps, they could come from basically combat engineers, etc. Some engineer officers have been come up very well. Sukriti Dayar is one who is looking after NDC right now as a lieutenant general. He is an engineer officer. So there are plenty. So no, but maybe maybe that's what you were thinking. What I can tell you is through a session, there's one category of people who give up after 10 days, 15 days, 20 days, and they leave. So them included. Then at the end of it, someone who lasts for 3 months, but at the end of the 3 months also, the group of officers have observed them, and they find, if anybody finds, that there is something not gelling. You tell me, find a young officer who's come in. Young officer, people have come in with 9 years service also. There are people who came in with 10, 11, 12 years service also. Yeah, very seniors also, who've not made it. And so we're looking at experience. But as youngsters, the last one which I know of was, that person was forever talking about bitcoins, etc. Now, if your mind is for bitcoins and all, then you should go join the banking or something like that. Not we don't think into, not that we get a whole lot of money, etc. But you're not in it for money. You're in it for money is enough for a good sustenance life, which all of us survive. Your life is for the kind of life that you're leading. The life that you're living as an officer, the style. I really mean style. It's different. You've got this gentleman called Mr. Ambani or Adani. They're all floating in money, but they don't know how to use the money. They know how to use the money to make more money, which is also an art. You must give them credit for it. That doesn't happen in the army. In the army, money is for sustenance. Yes, Army, Navy, Air Force, we know how to blow up the money, but we don't have the money. So it's a balance in nature, which happens. These are the kind of people, genuinity again, like I said, genuinely for the service that you're going to be doing. Not because of the Indian Army. I'm going to fight for the Indian Army, for the country, and I'm going to die. It's somewhere way back in the back of my mind. It's my Pulton, that's it.
My brother to my left, my brother to my right.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. And my Pulton is the thing. I know of 2 people who've jumped into the water because normal exercise, who jumped into the river because they were all being, cordoned, and they were going to come onto a verge of being captured. His thoughts in his mind was, agar main pakda gaya na, so then I'm not going to, the unit people bejiti ho jayegi. So they both jumped into the river. And I don't know as of now whether they survived or not. But this is the action that they did. So leaving a casualty behind, our unit has never done it. None of the Special Forces unit has ever done it. Let me tell you that also. I don't know about the others. You can't leave anybody behind.
So why do you guys say, sir, why is this phrase? Can you explain this? Men apart, every man an emperor.
Do you know who said it? Montgomery said it. is because once you've jumped off the aircraft, you see, now you're an emperor. Nobody can give you orders to, okay, nahi, come right, come left, do this, nothing. Now I will do myself till the time I touch the ground. Then I'll come under your command. So, men apart, every man an emperor. This used to be on my WhatsApp DP for a while, incidentally. That's why I can tell you there's a Montgomery who said it. Yeah.
And sir, what does it
Nothing much, incidentally. Okay, that's it. Men apart and emperor. It's okay. Good way of saying it.
So why does 9 have that skull with the thing and there is a dagger in the mouth and when you're wearing a maroon? Why is it like this?
You're asking the wrong person as to why is that thing. What you have probably not noticed is there's a in that Balidan badge which he's wearing on his that skull is wearing. What normally people write is we write Balidan in Hindi, right? The people in the SAS, they have a simple, they call it the flaming dagger. They've got the same thing in which is written, who dares wins. Did you know that?
Yeah.
So in our original one, and people still know, it's written, who cares who wins. Because the person who was doing it was an English professor, and somebody was trying to explain it to him, who dares wins. That's English. So he couldn't understand. He said, well, who dares wins? It doesn't make sense. So finally, when he actually coined it, he said, who cares who wins? Yeah, that's okay. I've got a task to do. I do my task. That's it. So that is the thing. But that skull gang has remained as a memento for 9. 10 has got something known as a scorpion. And 1 had a bear, which is actually, sharpening its claws on a tree. And it has just had a kill recently. So you can see the blood on its very ferocious looking. But our finishing of the people who make it, they make it, sometimes they say, is it a dog which is doing a small job on a tree, or is it a monkey trying to climb the tree, or whatever it is. But the scorpion and skull has remained. But the other units also now, which have followed up, have all tried making. Somebody says, no, we want to be a barge. Somebody says, I want to be, Russell's Viper. You said Russell's Viper. The unit called 3 Para says Russell's Viper, because 3 Para was there as part of Russell's, Second World War. That's okay. Just feel good factor. It makes you feel good. That's it. This is, since you asked me about the skull gang, that's the skull for 9. 2 original, the skull and the dagger, this dagger, on a scorpion in the desert. That's what 10 is all about. So nice, it tells you about everything. Right? So that's it.
Sir, I think if we keep talking.
Period. We've spoken enough. That'll get hot.
Yeah. The 24 hours, 48 hours, just the way we guys talk, ना, कि veterans आएंगे, बातचीत करेंगे, stories में इतनी stories निकल जाएंगी कि समय का पता नहीं लगेगा. But then I would like to thank you, sir, to come on this set and especially my viewers, to educate them exactly what does it take to become a para commando, and then what's the life of a para commando, what's the life of a special forces officer. Something you mentioned about eccentricity. Yeah. वो चाहिए, attitude चाहिए. Yeah. And probably
eccentricity is an attitude. That's an attitude.
Yeah. So thank you so much for coming on the show, sir.
God bless all of you.
And I hope that this podcast sends out that message that I am trying to send out. Exactly ये है क्या officer like qualities, ये actions क्या है जो field में बाहर निकल के आती है, what are these actions जहाँ से these behavior manifestations come out.
Oh yeah, okay. And then, I wish you all the best. I hope it's reached out.
Yeah. And that's exactly what you've done for 2.5 years as interviewing officer at Selection Center.
Yeah, okay.
17 board. Yeah. Yeah. So thank you so much for watching this show. This was Roger That with MKC. With Brigadier Sanjay Thapa, Sena Medal Gallantry, Officer Like Qualities की कहानी, ex-GTO की जुबानी, powered by Olive Planet. I'm sure you guys should see this website, oliveplanet.in, manufacturers and suppliers of premium military gear. Thank you so much once again, sir, for coming on the show.
Inshallah, okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching my show. This was Roger That with NKC, powered by Olive Planet, manufacturers of premium military gear. Check out their stuff on the website oliveplanet.in. This gear is used by Indian military, including the Special Forces. Subscribe to my YouTube channel for more such interesting content. For SSB related content, you can check my YouTube channel, which is called SSB with ISB. There's an Instagram handle and also the LinkedIn page by the same name, SSB with ISB. Follow me on Instagram, Lieutenant Commander Nikhil, the GTO, or just search for me as Nikhil Kumar Chandrakala. Thank you so much.